We just got back from our most recent Disney cruise aboard the Disney Destiny, and we got to go for the first time to Disney's newest private island, Disney's Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. It felt like a callback to Disney's focus on creating authentic, gorgeous places with just enough Disney touches to make it magical. I see Joe Rohde's fingerprints everywhere here. Today we're going to share what you need to know about Disney's Lookout Cay without giving everything away, because we don't want to spoil it for you. You really need to experience it yourself. By the end of this video, you'll know whether you should pick a cruise itinerary with Lookout Cay as a destination port or skip it, and our opinion on which is better, this or Castaway. We're going to start with this dreaded walkway. It actually is not as bad as it appears. However, it was a pretty cloudy day, and I might have a different opinion if it was super sunny and super hot. We actually have a full POV, so you can actually see what it's like to walk across it on our channel. And be sure to check it out if it's something you're worried about. That way you can decide whether you need to arrange for some mobility issue assistance, which they have. Before we get to the meat of the island, I'm going to show you what you come across first when you arrive, which is actually my only real gripe about the island. If you notice right here, this is where the family cabanas are. The vast majority of the experiences on the island, all the specialness of the island is actually on the other side of the island. You have to take a tram there. However, it does have bathrooms and dining there, so it does have the necessities, but like I said, you're going to miss a lot if you decide to book those cabanas. You do have to board a tram. It's only about a 5 to 7 minute ride to the other side of the island. It's actually a very beautiful view on the way. And they have a recording that tells you a little bit about the history of the island and the native plants and the native animals there. So it's still quite fun. These are so cool. These are all handmade items from actual Bahamian artisans, which I think is really cool. And the sort of central hub of the island is the Goombay Cultural Center, and they have little activities here, and a little bit later, a kind of big surprise that was a lot of fun, so be sure to stay for that. And we've arrived at the family beach, and as you can see, this is a little after 11. It is very packed. It was very difficult to get a chair even for just a few minutes. But that walk was worth it because this is some of the most beautiful water I've ever seen. And I actually almost lost all my belongings in the ocean, including my Key to the World card, but thank goodness I had a waterproof bag that actually floats, and I'll leave information about that down below.
What we are wearing is a standard costume that everyone who's participating in Junkanoo must be fully dressed with, and that will consist of a headpiece, a shoulder piece, skirt or pants, and our shoes have to be decorated as well.
So they have different sections: barbecue ribs and chicken and seafood rice balls, and a flavorful fish section. Over here they have the beach barbecue burgers, and then there is self-serve drinks and ice cream. Plenty of nice shaded and fanned areas. See what you would miss if you would have been on the other side of the island on those family cabanas? That being said, we are going to walk right over to Serenity Bay, and you walk right past the Serenity Bay cabanas, so I imagine they're actually a little louder than the family cabanas. But the Serenity Bay area, it is far enough away to where it is nice and serene, and it's not very far of a walk at all. You don't have to take a separate tram. This is all together in one walkable vicinity. If you're considering a lot of itineraries and you're wondering if you should go to Lookout Cay, it's safe to say that I highly recommend you take the plunge. It's an excellent island and it's built beautifully. I think that the island is gorgeous. It has lots of huge shaded wonderful pavilions for different uses. There's a smoothie area, there's bars everywhere, there's picnic type areas where you sit down and eat or you just have a cool off. I think the island is gorgeous and the water is beautiful. The tram on the way there and on the way back had no waits. There was plenty of seating. I got right on and right off, and I thought that that run really smoothly. And then you come right back to the front and then you walk all the way back towards the beautiful ship. But hold tight for just one more minute because I have some thoughts that I wanted to get out in my pirate night garb. Stay tuned for the recap. Definitely got my steps in today. I went to Lookout Cay. It was the first time I was at Lookout Cay, and you have to get on a tram. So the majority of the stuff on the island is like on the other side. So you ride the tram for a good little bit. They play a cutesy little story about the island. It was nice. It was interesting to learn more about it, where it got its name, all that kind of thing. I got to the actual island section. On Castaway, you have to ride a tram to get to Serenity Bay, which is the adult only area. This one you do not have to do that. It's connected. It is still quiet. So it's far enough away to be quiet, but you just walk there. I think that's helpful. The family beach, the main beach, was, by the time I got there, was packed, crowded. Pretty difficult to find a chair. If you're gonna use a beach like that, you need to get there early because it was packed. There's a lot of people there. So the actual developed part that Disney developed, where the stores are, the cookies too, the barbecue, there's different foods there, but it was a really big area. It felt bigger than Castaway to me, but everything had these huge awnings over them, and it was all very Bahamian. It felt, where Castaway Cay is very cutesy Disney, it's still beautiful, it's still island, but it is very Disney. This was very Bahamian and very culturally oriented, which I really liked. And that's probably because Joe Rohde had something to do with this. I got in the ocean just a little bit, and I was sufficiently done with the sand. And then,
see what I mean?
Yeah, I don't love the sandy stuff, but the ocean was really pretty. It was a very nice temperature. It was chilly, but it wasn't like freezing. The food actually looked good. I didn't end up eating on the island because I was coming back on the boat to meet her to eat at Marceline Market, but the food didn't look bad. It honestly looked like the exact same food that you get on Deck 11. So it looked like the same barbecue you get at the smokestack on Deck 11. It looked like the same burgers you get at Goofy's Grill. There was no pizza, and there was some fish items, which I think that's interesting. But I wanted to get back to eat lunch with her before Marceline Market closed, because it closed at 1:30. And the food there today for lunch was delicious. I had a duck.
And it was quiet.
Yeah,
because
most
we
people
went
were on
at
the
an odd
island.
time. Yeah, people were on the island.
My camera's about to die. Thank you for watching. Thank you for giving it a thumbs up. See you later. Good night.